Well, today I'm going to tell you the story of the pretty pink rock, and I'm going to teach you how to identify minerals using the hardness scale, or the Mohs hardness scale, which goes from basically 1 to 10. Well, I grew up in Portland, and when I was a kid, you look at most rocks, they're black, or they're gray, or they're not too interesting. And I was always jealous of my relatives who lived back in places like Iowa or Kentucky or Tennessee, and they could find fossils and stuff. Well, one day my best buddy, Eddie Gonzalez, he comes up to me and goes, "Hey Mike, I got this really cool pretty pink rock." And he shows me this pretty pink rock, and it's pink, and it's pretty, and it's got these gold flakes in it, and it's just gorgeous. And I just go, "This is the prettiest rock I've ever seen." He says, "You know, Mikey, you're my best friend. I'm going to give you this pretty pink rock." And I'm like, "Me? I love you, Fast Eddie. Thank you, thank you." So he gives me the pretty pink rock. Well, it gets around school. When you're in third grade, everybody knows if you got a pretty pink rock or not, right? So the meanest kid in my school was 2 grades ahead of me. His name was Jimmy Smith, and he was a mean kid. He comes up to me and says, "Macaulay, I hear you got a pretty pink rock." And I go, "Yeah, I got a really pretty pink rock. See, it's pink and it's got these gold flakes in it. It's got to be worth $1 million. He goes, "Give me that pretty pink rock or I'm going to beat you up." I says, "I can't give you this rock. It's my rock. I got it from Fast Eddie. It's my favorite rock of all time." He says, "Give me that pink rock. I'm going to beat the heck out of you." So I didn't give him the pretty pink rock, and he beat the heck out of me. And then he took the pretty pink rock from me. So I had a bloody nose and no pink rock. Well, that's enough of the pink rock story for a second. Let's talk about the hardness scale and how you can use the hardness scale to identify rocks and minerals. Okay, first of all, let's take the pretty pink rock and let's rub it across our fingernail. I rub it across my fingernail and it scratched my fingernail. See? Yeah. It's not bleeding though. And that would mean that this is harder than 1. Well, let's try something else. Let's try a penny. Now, this is Abraham Lincoln. I'm going to scratch him. Oh my gosh, I scratched Abraham Lincoln's nose. It looks like he's got a bugger. All right, check it out. I scratched Abraham Lincoln. So that means this rock, or this mineral, is harder than 3. Let's try another one. How about a nail? Well, a nail has a hardness of about 4 or 5. Oh my gosh, I scratched the nail. That means that this mineral is harder, this pretty pink rock I might add, is harder than a nail, which is about a 4 or 5. Well, how about glass? Can I scratch glass? Now there's a trick to this. When you scratch glass, don't try and scratch it like this. You'll break it, you'll cut yourself. You want to put this on the table and spread your fingers at both ends of the slide and then scratch. And when I do that, you'll notice that I did scratch the glass. So this has a hardness of at least 6. Now the only thing harder now is the quartz. Here's quartz, real common, one of the most common minerals in the world. And it's very hard. This is what you find like at the beach on the Oregon coast. And you'll see if I do this. Oh my gosh, look at the scratch on that guy. I just almost scratched the quartz. But if I rub it, you notice it's not there. So obviously the quartz is actually harder than the pretty pink rock. Okay, there is one thing harder that could be on our hardness scale, which would be diamonds, which have a hardness of 10. But you'll notice in our scratch kits, we don't have diamonds. We had some industrial diamonds way back when I was a first-year teacher. We don't have those anymore. I wonder why. It's the neighborhood. All right, so now I've got to go and identify this. Now, if you'll turn in your packet to page 12, you'll see the mineral identification chart based on the hardness scale. Now, the first thing you do is you look at this pretty pink rock, or whatever rock, and you ask yourself, does it look like metal or not? Now, this is a very pretty pink rock, but it is not metal. So that takes care of all of these down here at the bottom. You don't have to worry about those no more. Okay, then you ask yourself, is it light or dark? Well, pink It's not black, that's not gray, it's not, it's not dark. So that takes care of all those. So now where are we at? Well, we're just up to these ones here at the top. And it says scratch glass or does not scratch glass. This sucker scratched glass. So if I look at the glass, which one scratched glass, that means it's either feldspar, quartz, olivine, or... And then it asks cleavage or not. Now, sometimes when you think cleavage, this is probably going to mess you up. Cleavage means breaks smooth, or it's like flat on a side. This is flat on a side. So that's what geologists mean when they say cleavage. Okay, and the only one that has cleavage is feldspar. This is feldspar. Feldspar is a German word. It means feld means field, and spar means rock. Feldspar is the rock of the field. Do you think that means common or uncommon? It actually means very common. This is one of the most common minerals in the world, except here in the Willamette Valley, where it's relatively rare. So when I got beat up by Jimmy Smith for the pretty pink rock, I got beat up for nothing.